Welcome back to Chow Time Pods. Your host, Red. I get videos today from Peas World.
This is something that we've spoken about many times on this channel and probably other channels as well. The communication style between men and women, it is just different. When it comes to women, there seems to be a lot of lying, if we're being honest, lack of accountability,
They do love to lie to each other, don't they, P?
fabrication, falsery, that's not a word, falsehoods.
Every word that means fake that you could think of in the thesaurus.
Too tired to think of any more words. But Dana has come to the realization that compliments from women, they just don't hit the same.
I don't want to be girl pretty. Not at this point. Y'all done girls so hard with all this line about who attract.
And I should preference that by saying compliments from woman as a woman.
Attractive, who baddies, who beautiful, who gorgeous. Y'all just be tossing them words around to anybody.
They really do. You know, again, I interact with women quite a bit. And then when I'm with them, I can see someone that's definitely not it. And then as soon as she comes in and she struts in a little bit, she's like, oh, slay, girl. I was like, oh my God, look at that. You look so good. And I'm just like, are we looking at the same thing? Like, seriously, are my eyes fucked up in some way that we're not looking at the same thing anymore? Or are you just a lying whore?
Those words used to actually be reserved for extremely attractive people, but y'all just be saying anybody gorgeous, beautiful, and baddies. And see, it's like it's switched, because back in the day, it used to be men who was lying real bad about attractiveness because they wanted to have sex with women. So in order to have sex with women, they would over-exaggerate her attractiveness in order to boost her head up to have sex. But now men are not even willing to even tell women sweet nothings anymore. It's this girl thing where y'all go around lying about people's attractiveness to the point now when I get compliments from women, I ask myself, what am I doing wrong? Like, I really question myself, like, ew, if women are complimenting me, what am I doing wrong?
No.
Clearly, I need to go back to the drawing board and do something different, because at this point, it's an insult. At this point, it's an insult to get complimented by too many women, because clearly y'all have terrible taste. Clearly, y'all have terrible taste, and getting compliments from y'all mean absolutely nothing, and it's pretty much disrespectful. Now getting compliments from certain men nowadays is a high praise. Like something from, like, say, getting a compliment from me. And a compliment from me means, like, you look good in that dress. That's a compliment from me. That's the most you're ever gonna really get. You know, you're not gonna get, oh, you look gorgeous. No, you look cute in that dress. That dress looks good on you. At this point, I'd rather women call me ugly. And I never thought I'd see the day where the men's compliments were actually rooted in more truth than y'all's. It's crazy how stuff is starting to shift. It is crazy. The men are actually being more honest about women's attractiveness than the women are. Crazy times we living in.
Well, let me say this.
I agree with
Men
this.
still do be lying to women.
We do.
The thing is,
women just love lies. like they live a life of lies, so they like to be lied to.
is it lying or is beauty in the eyes of the beholder? I'm sure there are some men who do lie because they want to crack. But beauty's in the eye of the beholder. I mean,
Hey, if I think you're the hottest girl in the moment, hey, maybe you are the hottest girl in the moment.
you could find a woman completely disgusting, but then to someone else, she's the most attractive person they've ever seen. The difference is, or where the disconnect is that men online aren't lying. Men online are not lying, whereas women are. It's not even bad taste. It's just lies. And not only lies, as we're going to see in this video here, some of the compliments, there's an undertone of just like being a hater.
Oh, that is true. They are very good at that.
On my video, OMG, I wish I had your confidence. And I respond with, wait, what do you mean? Because all I'm doing is talking about an expensive deodorant that I like. And they replied with this. It's a screenshot from the video. of the angle at which I'm filming myself, which, to be clear, I had my phone close to my face so that I wasn't being super loud in public. The other day, a friend of mine said she admires how self-assured I am, how much I trust myself. And I didn't really know what she meant. But then this happened. And I realized, yeah, if I was a different kind of person, this would be enough for me to, you know?
Really?
And so
Wait, what?
honestly, sailing seas one, you're actually very lucky that I am the kind of person that I am, because this could have gone so differently.
Really?
So
What?
One person called
Or are you gonna murder her or something? Like what?
you ugly, you're ready to end it? Man, you must be on the edge. You know what I'm saying? You must be right on
Seriously.
the edge. Golly. But yeah, but look, we know that, again, it's covert. Oh my God, you're so confident. Just a normal picture. They're saying you're ugly and you're confident in your ugliness.
That's exactly what they're saying, and I see it all the time. I just never like analyze it so much, but yes, I've always known this.
Yeah. Damn. If I was you, I'd be in hiding. That's what they're really saying. You
Pretty
ugly as
much.
shit, dog. Golly. If I was you,
It wouldn't be me.
I would never show my face. You're so confident. I wish I had your confidence.
Women absolutely act useless around their friends because they're used to princess treatment by their men. And there are hundreds of examples of this in the comments, but here are some ways that it shows up. First and foremost, through silence. When it's time to decide who's gonna drive, who's gonna pay, who's gonna call an Uber, who's gonna do what, they're silent. Like, okay, y'all figure it out because I know I'm automatically not doing it. Number two, making requests from people to do things that they are 100% capable of doing, they just don't feel like it. Whether that's carrying heavy objects, holding something, or in the same sense, treating you like their personal assistant. Like a constant expectation that you do certain tasks. Oh, can you send me the itinerary? Can you book the flights? Can you book the hotel? Send me a reminder. What time does this start? What time does this end? What time do we need to be there? And they have all the same information that you have. Number three, just straight up applying the principles that they apply to men to you. Y'all could both be walking down the street and they're like, oh, I don't stand on the outside of the street. Or y'all get to a door and they're just standing there waiting for you to open it. There was someone in the comments that even said that their friend told them to pump their gas because their husband always did it.
This, by the way, is a
Wait, they actually do it to each other in that way? I did not know this.
huge reason to why lesbians don't like dating bisexual women. And I wanted to bring this up, but I didn't have like the right time. Maybe there's a better time, but I'm going to bring it up now. I feel jealous of lesbians. Because
Because they don't have to do the same things as us men have to do?
lesbians don't like dating bisexual women because the lesbians view those women as too patriarchal. They come in with all the patriarchy, they start chucking it on the lesbians because they've been dealing with men and they've been, pushing the patriarchy on men, men's role to do this, men. And they come into lesbian dynamics and they push that onto the women. And they're like, no. But there are men who are dating bisexual women because the straight women are too patriarchal.
What? I'm
The
confused.
straight women are too double standardy and they're too, so they're going to bisexual women who lesbian women don't want to date because they're too patriarchal. And I was thinking the other night, I was like, damn, what must it be like to be a lesbian? You're just dating, it's just like, it's just free. No stupid double standards, no societal nothing. Just two people dating because they like each other. And
I don't think so, P, because what do we see? Those masculine ones that always, masculine presenting ones always coming out here complaining the same things that us men complain about. So I think there's still expectations on them.
it's like, damn.
Did she murder 3 of her children? Yes. Do I think she should go to prison for it? No, probably not.
Wait, what?
I'm a
Clancy is a victim too. Regardless of whether you believe she suffered from postpartum psychosis, which caused her to unalive her 3 children. She was prescribed so many different medications.
Someone who experienced a brief period of psychosis due to a mental health medication, I do not believe that Lindsay Clancy belongs in prison, nor do I believe she is criminally guilty.
See, just because they can put themselves in her shoes, they're just like, oh no, she shouldn't be like that because I would have done the same thing. I'm like, no, that's horrible of you and horrible of her.
Of the crimes she committed.
Now that music was absolutely shit, and I'm going to remove it. But now I could be petty, and I could just come out and say, just white women, right? You can't really trust them, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like that's too general, because it's a specific type of woman that's doing this. Let's be honest, they're feminists. And there are a lot of women who operate in the guise of, oh wait, somebody done something bad? Was it a man or a woman? It was a woman. Oh, well, there must be external reasons or factors to why she did this bad thing. And, postpartum, But the exact same situation, flip it to a man, they have no empathy, no nothing. This lady unalived 3 of her children. I've come to the conclusion that there are some women, and the majority of these women are chronically online, or very active online, because when they get into these online spaces, they stop thinking for themselves, right? You meet a normal woman who isn't like always doom scrolling on TikTok. She probably doesn't think like this. They get into
This is true. I usually date women that don't doom scroll on TikTok and things like that, and they are quite different than majority of the women out there. There are not a lot of them there, but I've dated a few of them that are quite different because they don't subscribe to social media like that.
These online spaces, they stop thinking for themselves, right? These types of women, it doesn't make sense conversating because they don't operate of any form of logic or reason or good faith. Like everything is bad faith. Just everything, all their opinions when it comes to lying about like a essay or whatever the case is, you just take the same scenario in which they'll defend women and you just flip the genders and everything crumbles.
Yes. Do I think she should go to prison for it? No, probably not. I'm a forensic scientist and a former CSI. This is Lindsay Clancy. Her trial starts this week. The prosecution in her case wants her to go to prison for murdering her children. I'm not sure that's a good idea. I don't know if it's gonna happen. I'm curious to know, what do you think about this case, and do you think Lindsay Clancy should go to prison? Right now, obviously, we don't know all of the evidence because the trial is just getting underway, but I do want to talk about what we know so far. Admittedly, Lindsay Clancy murdered her 3 children. She strangled them all with exercise bands. Lindsay was alone with her children for a little while because her husband Patrick had gone out to CVS and to pick up some takeout food. And when he came home, Lindsay had strangled all 3 of their children to death. She had cut her wrist.
Wow, I'm getting goosebumps with this one. This one's sad.
And her neck. She jumped out of the 2nd-story window of her house. She lived. None of her children did, although the youngest of her children did live for a couple of days. There is really no debate about what happened in this case and what Lindsay did. The issue is whether she is criminally responsible for what she did. The state says that it was premeditated, that she intentionally sent her husband out of the house, mapped out how long.
That seems like the case.
What? Hey, there's no doubt about what she did. It comes down to, is she criminally responsible?
He was going to be gone and use that opportunity to commit these murders and then tried unsuccessfully to end her own life. But her defense is saying she was not in her right state of mind and she cannot be held criminally responsible for what she did. And looking at it on its face, I tend to agree with the defense. Now, I haven't seen the evidence, so I'm just telling you what I can piece together from the news. Her defense is saying that not only is she mentally ill, she was over-medicated, like severely over-medicated, and all of her attempts to get help failed. Nobody would help her. All this despite the fact that she was admittedly having auditory hallucinations. She was struggling with insomnia. She would be awake for 48 hours at a time. That is really dangerous. And then even when she was sleeping, she was only getting maybe 3 hours.
Oh, it's dangerous for a woman, but when the man has to go work, 48 hours straight, bringing home the bacon, as he should, right?
Of sleep a night. She made repeated visits to the emergency
I didn't know insomnia turned niggas into murderers, man.
Yeah.
Damn, they gotta check that one out. I didn't know that, man.
I did not.
I didn't know mental illness turns people into murderers as well, man. Everyone's like, the amount of people with mental health illnesses. Damn, we just got a bunch of murderers rolling in the streets. I did not know that.
room to her primary care doctor, and she saw a number of health practitioners who prescribed her so many different drugs. I mean, she was on Prozac, Ambien, Remeron, Klonopin, Seroquel, Trazodone, Valium, amitriptyline, and really high doses too. She had told her care team that she had developed suicidal ideations. She was hearing voices. She had thoughts of harming the children. She thought that people could hear her thoughts. She was declining rapidly. She was in fact severely mentally ill, and she tried to admit herself into a hospital. And she actually was kind of successful. She got checked in on New Year's Eve. Nobody saw her until January 3rd because of the holiday, and then 5 days later, they checked her out. So she was really only under the care of a physician in the psych ward for 2 days. And she continued to decline. On January 16th, after she was discharged from the psych,
It doesn't matter. None of this matters. Because it's just excuses. Because the exact same thing can be said about men and horrible acts too. But they still committed the horrible acts. They pay for it.
ward, she told her doctor about some really concerning things. She was having hallucinations, voices telling her to hurt her children, to hurt herself. And in response, they put her on more drugs. When it didn't work, they upped her dose, which just led to more insomnia. This is like the recipe for a psychotic break. And that's basically what happened. She started experiencing non-stop hallucinations. And she claims that after her husband left to pick up this takeout, the voices in her head told her, hey, this is your last chance. And so she acted. She says she was in a dissociative, dreamlike state. She took her children down into the basement and ended their lives. And then she tried to end her own life. After she took pills, cut her wrists, and cut her neck, she jumped out of the second floor of the building, and her husband, when he came home, found her outside laying on the ground bleeding. She is paralyzed from the sternum down. And to be clear, she is still not doing well. I mean, look at her eyes. I think you can kind of...
Do you think we care if she's not doing well? She just killed 3 of her kids. I don't give a fuck about her.
tell she is not doing well. I mean, not to judge a book by its cover, but she does not look mentally healthy. And according to her lawyer...
I don't care. I don't give a fuck if she looks healthy or not. What the actual fuck, man? Like, these women.
She is not mentally healthy. In fact, she is incredibly unwell. She is under constant supervision at the hospital where she has been since this event took place. In court previously, her lawyer basically said, hey, she is always struggling with very intense suicidal ideations. She is always trying to take her own life. She has to be watched constantly. This was such an...
Well, yeah, she just ruined her own life and took her kids. So I can see how she can constantly wants to end herself.
issue that her attorney said, hey, she can't be transported to and from court like a normal inmate. She needs to come in an ambulance. And he said, it's not on me. If she kills herself during this trial, which there is a very real probability that it could happen, it's on somebody and it's not on me. It seems extraordinarily unlikely to me that this woman would be...
Yo, this bitch crazy, bro. Hey, yo, I ain't even gonna edit this shit out, yeah? I take back everything I said. This bitch, look at this. Oh my God.
Demon.
I take back everything I said. She's crazy, man. Sorry. It's not funny. It's not funny, man. She is crazy. I'm looking at her and I'm thinking like, in reality, is there
Like, you see no remorse, no nothing behind this eyes.
any difference to a psych ward for the rest of your life or prison for the rest of your life? Not really. It's the same thing, except in prison the inmates are like, you know, more intentionally evil, right? In the psych ward, people are just crazy. But either way, she needs to be locked up forever and ever and ever, man. This is a whole demon. How is she allowed to be on all those drugs? That, I mean, look, America, you know, the capitalism is...
I do admit America. Yeah. Us and drugs.
so crazy. I wouldn't be surprised if these doctors were just like, I don't give a damn, it's money. But I feel like a doctor should be looking at everything you're on and going, more medication is not good. We can't do that. That's kind of illegal. Yeah,
I agree with this.
I'm thinking about it now, guys. That'll be real bad. Whether she's in prison or in a psych ward, she definitely doesn't deserve to be free. You can't be free. You can never be around like civilization again. But I'm thinking now, is jail, like, what's the point of being in jail?
Successfully malingering for years. The issue here is not whether she is responsible for ending the lives of her children, which she obviously is. The issue here, and the issue that is going to be front and center at trial, is whether she is criminally responsible. And she cannot be criminally responsible if she was not sane. Now, obviously, we're going to have to wait and see. I think there's probably going to be a lot more evidence, obviously, that comes out at trial. It's going to be a really long trial. We've only scratched the surface of the information that's publicly available, but I want to know, what do you think? I know the trial hasn't started yet. We're going to wait to hear all the evidence. I want to know your first impressions. Do you think she should go to prison for what she did? Do you think she should even be... Women want to help her and men want to kill her. I'm a forensic scientist and a former...
There's no help. You see, that's the problem, though. There's no help. There's no help. There's no help, brother. There's no help. There's no help. Put her in the cycle. People don't get better in the psych ward.
They're not. The psych ward is just a prison for mentally ill people, pretty much.
People don't get better in the psych ward. Right? You're messed up. You're cooked. She should never ever come out. She should be living in that box when she goes out in the wheelchair, and you know they'll be taking the you see it in the movies. They're taking the medicine and they're walking around all docile, and that should be her life forever. There's no help. Help? To what end?
It's like all of a sudden now you want to help murderers because they're a woman, but when it's a man, give him the death sentence, right?
And once again, I'm left asking the question, why are the men so emotional? Recently, I made a video about Lindsay Clancy.
Because she killed 3 kids? Like, we can't be emotional that 3 innocent children lost their lives for nothing? I think that's worth being emotional about.
Talking about her alleged crimes and her defense, and basically discussing whether she should go to prison for killing her 3 children or whether she should be institutionalized because she is mentally unwell. Look at her. By and large, the women in my comments responded with empathy. They talked about how they had their own experiences with postpartum depression and psychosis and how they thought that the system failed Lindsay Clancy and her children. And the men responded by saying, kill her, put her in the electric chair, straight to the gallows, death penalty. Contrast that with the women saying she's already living.
This is why men make the laws in the nation. Because we are fair and just, unlike women. Because this is unfair and just what she's speaking about right now.
In her own hell. To be clear, the death penalty is not an option in this case because Lindsay Clancy is being tried in Massachusetts and they don't have the death penalty, and I never mentioned the death penalty in my video. Some of you men got really upset, including this man who made a video replying to his own self talking about how Lindsay Clancy and I should be fed through a wood chipper. And then there were lots of men who made comments talking about if this was a man, I wouldn't be asking these questions. No shit, because if it was a man, they wouldn't be suffering from postpartum depression and psychosis because they would be men, not the mothers who...
All of a sudden,
even though men do suffer from postpartum, you see that? That's where, you know, these women are full of shit. And that's where the disingenuousness is. Right? Someone like me, I did a whole 360. I'm like, is prison the best thing for her? Probably not, because I looked at all the evidence and I looked at, okay, maybe she should just be in a psych ward forever and ever.
I'm okay with the psych ward, to tell you the truth. Like, but she definitely needs to be locked up.
But these people only see the world through gender. So obviously men don't suffer from postpartum. Even though they do, you just don't take it seriously. And if a man showed all the same symptoms, you wouldn't have the same energy because you are disingenuous. I want to get you guys' thoughts and opinions on this though. If she got the death penalty, I wouldn't be mad. Like, it's like, oh my God, how did you... I wouldn't be mad about it.
I wouldn't be mad either.
Going to prison, I don't really...
I mean, 3 lives for 1?
See how that... I don't really see what that does. It doesn't look... It doesn't look like she's a regular functioning I don't know if she'll even be able to make it in prison.
And the thing is, like, I don't even know how women in prison react to this type of story with her, right? Like, in male prisons, if a man went to jail and he killed his kids and he was harming children, oh, you best believe he is not gonna have a good time in jail. Not at all. Like, in Tennessee, they literally have a ward specifically for, like, special, criminals that harm children. It was like freaking pod 6 or something like that. I don't remember the pod number now. But yeah, it was a special pod made specifically for these people, because these people cannot be put in general with other people, with other men, because they would get killed. I don't know how this is with women prisons and stuff, but sometimes. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that. And catch you guys next time. Ciao.